In the top stories, St. Kitts and Nevis deactivates passport of alleged investment fraudster. Small Business Development Center hosts quality management system training, and Federation to observe Consumer Rights Day 2024. The details on these stories and more after the break.
It's the annual frame event at Quartz Optical, so don't miss out. Get up to 80% off your favorite frames. Call 466-1640 to book your free eye examination or book online at quartzoptical.com. Get that free frame today and pay later. It's the annual frame event only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply.
Mosoka, 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 mosoka.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I am Shayura Flanders. Nationally, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis has deactivated the passport of Zimin Kian, who is accused of investment fraud carried out in China between 2014 and 2017. Sky News, a British media outlet, reports that Kian, which means money in Chinese, fled the UK after police raided the six-bedroom house the woman rented for more than £17,000 sterling a month in northwest London, according to court reports. Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis and Minister of National Security Honorable Dr. Terence Drew told journalists on Thursday, March 7th, that her St. Kitts and Nevis passport has been deactivated.
We work with Interpol, and we are very responsible. Any citizen, whether it be citizen who was born here, or by whatever means you become a citizen, we are going to make sure that if you break the law of any other country, that we will take the necessary measures. And so we took the necessary measure with respect to that person. And the passport is deactivated. So I can clearly say that. That's one.
He also used the opportunity to clarify a misunderstanding in the public sphere regarding when Kian carried out the investment fraud.
Second matter I will point out, I think that person might have gotten their citizenship in 2017, right? So it's not just a recent person, it was 2017 under the previous administration. The reason why I say that is that people not think that this is just a recent occurrence. Not that it can't happen with anybody else, but it's just that when people try to twist the story as if this is something that happened with the present government, then I have to point out that it is not so.
Prime Minister Drew made mention of measures his administration has taken to strengthen the country's citizenship by investment program.
Being very responsible, we made sure that we have to act to protect any other country or any other nation. As a matter of fact, we have made even more recent changes, not just for the CBI program, but make sure we protect any other country from any citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. We respect. We have now a very advanced type of passport, one of the most advanced that they are making presently. And so we continue to strengthen our security. As I told you, we are putting a security officer in Brussels to cover Europe, the UK, and so forth, making sure that any action that is to be taken is taken, and to make sure that we say to them that we are in the game to protect ourselves and you. And so that is part of the strengthening of our citizenship by investment.
According to Sky News, 42-year-old Jian Wen is accused of being the front person who helped Zimin Kian launder profits in the UK from a £5 billion sterling investment fraud in China. Wen, who is on trial, told a jury she was, quote, duped by the woman who defrauded the money. Wen accepts she was involved in an arrangement dealing with cryptocurrency, but told jurors, quote, I didn't know her Bitcoin came from whatever the prosecution has accused me of. I had no idea at all, end quote. Zimin Kian, who went to the UK using the false identity of Yadi Zhang on a St. Kitts and Nevis passport, vanished a day before she was due to be interviewed by police on September 1st, 2020. And in other news, the Small Business Development Center, or SBDC, is hosting a quality management system training for small businesses, which is being facilitated by the St. Kitts and Nevis Bureau of Standards. During the opening ceremony at the Sugar Bay Club on Monday, Director of the SBDC, Philip Brown, spoke of the collaboration between the SBDC and the Bureau of Standards.
We are delighted to collaborate with the Bureau of Standards, CROSCU by extension, on this extremely important matter, subject area, especially as it touches and concerns the development of the micro, small, and medium enterprise sector.
The quality management system training for small businesses is also being facilitated by the CARICOM Regional Organization for Standards and Quality. The training will cover topics such as defining technical specifications when it comes to quality, determining what the objectives are for the business, and defining procedures. The training ends on Friday. And in other news, the Consumer Affairs Department in St. Kitts is staging a week of activities from March 10th to the 15th to commemorate World Consumer Rights Day 2024. Minister responsible for Consumer Affairs, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzil Douglas, delivered an address to mark the occasion. He expounded on the theme for this year's observance, fair and responsible AI for consumers.
This provides a basis for consumer protection organizations and governments alike to champion the cause for greater avenues of protection for consumer data collected and used by various types of AI technology. It would also be critically important that during this campaign, consumers who may not have been aware of what AI technology entails are brought up to speed on the benefits of such, while also highlighting its potential downfalls. And given the ever-changing digital world in which we now operate, new aspects of technology are often intertwined and become a somewhat helpful yet oftentimes overlooked part of our overall web or device experience.
Dr. Douglas explained the significance of AI in consumer affairs.
Artificial intelligence, AI, is not a vision of the future, but it is rather a reality that is currently being incorporated into and used across numerous industries which we utilize on a daily basis. This covers sectors such as banking, healthcare, criminal justice, national security, transportation, and features that support smart cities, just to name a few. Artificial intelligence in consumer markets has resulted in a new kind of power and knowledge asymmetry. Customers are typically unaware that advertisements and even the terms of contracts are tailored to suit their individual profiles and are most times left confused as to how a particular rating or score was obtained if a particular contract is not completed or is only offered to them under disadvantageous conditions.
He said the government is committed to protecting consumers.
The Consumer Affairs Department of St. Kitts and Nevis, and by extension the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, has remained steadfast in its own commitment to update and modernize its consumer protection framework. I therefore take this opportunity as we celebrate Consumer Protection 2024 to highlight that on October the 30th, 2023, the Federation took the proactive step of finalizing the adoption of the CARICOM Consumer Protection Model legislation and having it passed into law as the Consumer Protection Bill 2023 of St. Kitts and Nevis. In so doing, the Federation now has a consumer protection legislation which is comparable to those being operationalized in other jurisdictions.
He encouraged consumers to embrace their responsibilities in bringing about needed improvements in how business is conducted in St. Kitts and Nevis. On March 15, 2024, St. Kitts and Nevis will join the international community in celebrating World Consumer Rights Day. And after the break, women in auto mechanics training held and vehicular recall to replace airbags. Stay with us.
Horseman's Value Mark IGA Special.
Running March 7 to March 28.
Now our Value Club Blue Tax Specials. Nature Valley Granola Bar is $9.99. La Yogurt, just $3.39. Essential Everyday Shredded and Chunk Cheeses, $7.99. Kool-Aid Jammers, $13.99. IGA and Essential Everyday Waffles and Pancakes, $10.99. Purex Liquid Detergent, $15.99. And now our very low weekly
Value deals. Star Kids Tuna, $3.99. IGA and Essential Everyday Mac and Cheese, $2.99. Dunkin' Hines Cake Mixes and Brownies, $5.99. Hunt Spaghetti Sauce, $8.49. VO5 Shampoo and Conditioner, $5.49. Irish Spring Baso, $11.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart, tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en
Value Mart!
On your own, oh yeah. Build your future today. Let On Mortgage show you the way. On your own, your family, your home, build it with pride. National Bank is right here by your side. With every step, with every loan. National Bank helps you find your on your own, oh yeah. Build your future today. Let On Mortgage show you the way. On your own.
We've been working to bring you our most reliable internet ever.
And today, we are very excited to offer gig speed on Flo's fiber-powered network.
The best entertainment experience in St. Kitts and Nevis.
And plans that give you everything you need.
It's a new flow, and it's all inspired.
And it's all inspired.
And it's all inspired.
And it's all inspired by you.
Healthwise on ZIZ TV, Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Hosted by Dr. Malik Lescott, Dr. Jolette Woodley, and Dr. Patrice Lawrence.
Welcome back. Women and car care was the crux of Saturday's session geared towards women empowerment for Women's Month this year. Mervan Thompson has this story.
Tire sizing and care, understanding the information engraved on a vehicle identification plate, and general vehicle care were some of the topics discussed at Saturday's Women in Auto Mechanics for Women's Month in St. Kitts and Nevis. The group session was facilitated for 35 women and held at the TDC Automotive Division, with Vehicle and Sales Manager Duran Merchant tutoring the ladies.
What that translates to on your car is your speedometer would have a different reading. It'll be telling you're going, if you do use a bigger size tire, bigger circumference tire, if it's telling you you're doing 50 miles per hour, you're probably doing something more like 55, 57 miles per hour. So that's why it's a good idea to keep the same circumference. So if you're gonna go up in width from a 215 to a 225, if you drop it to 50%, what would you get? So 50% of 225, anybody who still has their phone out doing math? See how much closer it got? So that's the idea. If you do have to increase your width by one recommended size, which is usually by 10 millimeters, drop the aspect ratio by 5%.
The 3-hour session comprised of theoretical and practical aspects, with the women asking questions throughout.
Kanisha, you're gonna get a little dirty, but pull the dipstick. No man, pull it with your loose finger. Oh, yeah, wipe it off.
Oh, you on? Okay, this is it.
Yeah, wipe it off immediately. Don't even take that reading. Just wipe it off. It's a good idea to wipe the whole stick. There you go. And then put it in. Make sure it goes all the way back down. Right, pull it back out. Step back a sec. Okay, lean it down forward. Hold the stick and see what the reading is. So you have, in this case, 2 dots. The lower dot is as low as it should be. The higher dot is your maximum. Try not to overfill, because that extra oil with the pressure, remember it does suck? That also means there's pressure in there. It could make some of your seals fail early if there's too much pressure. So that's why there's a maximum mat. The lower mat is to make sure that you can have enough oil for lubrication purposes and cleaning and cushioning and all that stuff. So this, like I said, we lean it down, and it was actually at the full mat when we started. So we're okay here. If you're halfway down, you're mostly okay, but if you do need to add oil, add it at a half of one of those small bottles at a time. Do not add more than half of one of those bottles at a time.
Participant Diana Pemberton, a clerical assistant, gave her thoughts about the session.
The session was very, 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 very informative, and I learned so much as a driver. I've learned so much, and I recommend that they do it again, but do it at like a 2-day, where they have like the actual hands-on session where the persons can actually do the work, try to change the oil and different aspects of the training. Questions in regards to like the changing of the oils, what you need to, the tire information, the tire sizes, what to look for when you're buying tires, changing out, when to change out your tires, etc.
Participant Fleur Lynch of Birdrock said that she's been waiting for a year for the session.
I was intrigued. I saw it last year, but I didn't get to attend, so I definitely didn't want to miss it this year. The hands-on training, very informative, and I got just that. I would like to tell them thank you very much, and to keep doing it, to maybe even do it more times during the year, because I heard it was booked up pretty quickly, and this is something that more women need. Like, you know, it's infamous that women are not very car savvy. Maybe not all women, but with sessions like this being done more often, we could definitely become aware and be more informed of the vehicles that we drive.
We had a lot of persons asking a lot of questions, and it was very, very good to see how many people had the opportunity to learn, engage on the vehicle, and learn and experience a few things that could help them become better equipped to help themselves, empower themselves in terms of using and protecting themselves where the vehicle usage and maintenance is concerned. In terms of the car clinic, we had one last year and it went very well, to the point that Gender Affairs decided to engage us and ask us to produce another one. We do think that we're going to have another, because there was such a large request for persons to be signed up for the activity that we don't want anybody to be left out, because it's all about making sure that everybody can have a chance to be able to do things independently. So for the other persons who didn't get a chance to engage this time, we're going to have another one. We're going to start with the persons who didn't get in on this one, and we're going to probably leave it open enough for any loose spots that we have, and then we're going to have those persons engage as well. But it's probably something that we're going to look into to see if we could do maybe more frequently, possibly twice a year or so that everybody has that chance to become empowered and independent.
Women in Auto Mechanics was the second in a series of Saturday sessions for Women's Month. Upcoming is Women in Welding, which will be Saturday's session, followed by Women in Electricity and Women in Tiling. Mervan Thompson, ZIZ News, TDC Automotive Division, Women in Auto Mechanics.
We usually hear of vehicular recalls in the U.S. and other places globally with little to no effect on us here in St. Kitts and Nevis, but not for this one. Though not a complete recall, the TDC Automotive Division is imploring citizens to be aware of a partial recall to replace the airbags of specific vehicles. On Saturday, during a Women in Auto Mechanics session for Women's Month, Duran Merchant, Vehicle Sales and Service Manager at TDC, spoke of the partial recall.
What's going on is that the airbags have had a bit of a breakdown over time, and they are not as effective as they should be. So we are giving a free replacement to those vehicles that are still affected to have all of us be safe where we're using vehicles, because the devices at present that are geared towards protecting us can sometimes be considered harmful because of the way that they're being broken down. So we are offering totally free replacements. It takes around an hour for most of the vehicles, and we would like to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to make sure that they're affected. So just call us 465-2511, extension 1172, 1101, 1105, or 1312, and any of those persons will be able to help you. Just call us with your VIN or chassis number. We'll check it, and if you're affected, we can shuttle you. You can bring your vehicle to us, and we'll have that recall done for you free of cost.
He spoke of the affected vehicles, stating that the recall is open to any owner, whether it was purchased at TDC or not.
It is geared towards the 2006 to 2012 Toyota Yaris's, Toyota Corolla, and the Toyota Belta, the 2001 to 2006 Toyota RAV4s, and the 2013 to 2016 Toyota 4Runners. Any vehicle at all that fits that criteria of that age range and that model is eligible for the free replacement as long as the VIN is affected.
And in other news, Tamara Nisbet of Prickly Pear Alley, Bastyr, St. Kitts, has been charged with possession of a controlled drug. Ms. Nisbet's charge resulted from a search warrant that was executed on her premises by the officers of the Anti-Narcotics Unit of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, RSC-NPF, on March 5, 2024. During the search, the officers recovered a quantity of pills weighing 16 grams suspected of being methamphetamine or ecstasy. Ms. Nisbet was arrested and taken to the Bastyr police station, where she was subsequently charged on March 5th. And coming up in regional news, Barbuda Power Plant is handed over to the government. The details when we come back.
You have dreams you're imagining, goals you'd like to achieve.